ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you, Kim. I appreciate the opportunity to present and hopefully educate your audience. I have over 20 years of experience in the process improvement and technology space, so hopefully I'll be able to turn on a few light bulbs today. In management circles circa 1986, author, consultant, and educator Peter Drucker popularized the quote, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Over the next 35 to 40 minutes, we'll cover trends that I see impacting my customers' warehouse processes and how they are leveraging warehouse automation to help efficiently manage their operations. Now, some of these are trends that have been going on for a while, and others are things in their infancy that you could review and consider to help create the future of your own supply chain. We'll discuss trends I see potentially impacting your warehouse operations and driving change, tools available to help you optimize processes and more efficiently manage the change that's going on, and types of warehouse automation for you to consider. In a nutshell, based on what I see and expect, there are three primary value drivers you should realize from implementing and using a warehouse management system, or what I'll refer to as WMS. The first is improved efficiencies around inventory utilization, labor productivity, and space utilization. The second is improved customer service levels in the form of on-time and accurate deliveries and being able to satisfy changing customer requirements, and real-time access to information to allow leadership to proactively manage operations. Companies are no longer relying on just their own brick-and-mortar stores to entice customers with their products. E-commerce retailers are using multiple online buying channels to reach customers and fulfill different orders. These companies require more scalable solutions to ship products in the fastest time possible along the shortest shipping routes. Flexible solutions can provide the right functionality to organize the fulfillment process for multiple warehouses, oversee the distribution processes for dropship partners, and help stores improve their overall product delivery times. Expect to see the trend of more items purchased outside of brick-and-mortar stores propelled by a strong online showing. As omnichannel becomes the de facto approach to market, inventory optimization will take on greater importance, with product availability and timely fulfillment becoming essential across all channels. E-commerce is one of the fastest growing parts of the economy. The U.S. Department of Commerce has estimated over $340 billion in U.S. retail e-commerce sales in 2015. Industry research organization eMarket projects e-com revenues will reach $490 billion by 2018. E-commerce is a primary catalyst for omni-channel distribution and driving operational complexities in the warehouse. While web orders or web fulfillment can be huge growth drivers for your business, and sales and company ownership will be excited about the new revenue potential, your job is to profitably manage these new channel opportunities. A key challenge in dealing with this for companies who have been focused on shipping to other DCs via cases or pallets is the new requirement to ship eaches direct to consumers via a pick-pack operation. We'll talk about some of the warehouse process disruptors next. Many major carriers apply what is known as dimensional or dim weight pricing to certain packages. Dim weight pricing creates a billable weight based on package volume, the amount of space a package occupies in relation to its actual weight. The carrier's position on this issue is to better align the rates they charge with their actual cost, which is influenced by both the size and weight of packages. In addition to creating additional revenue for the carriers hope to encourage shippers to reevaluate their packaging and ensure proper box selection when shipping to create a more efficient supply chain. Prior to 2015, only packages shipped by air or those 3 cubic feet or larger shipped by ground were subject to dim weight adjustments. Now ground packages are being impacted. This means most small lightweight boxes will be subject to dimming and will be charged by a new billable weight instead of the actual weight of the package. It is more important now than ever to gain full control of your shipping process, understand how dimensional weight is calculated, and know when to make operational adjustments to minimize the impact. Ad hoc carton selection and assignment is no longer a viable strategy. To calculate the cubic size of the package in inches, first multiply its length, width, and height, and round up or down to the nearest whole number. This cubic size is then divided by the dimensional factor, which is currently 166 for domestic and 139 for international shipments. When determining the final dim weight, always round up to the nearest whole pound. For example, 10.8 is considered 11 pounds. It is important to note that the dimensional factor 166 is subject to change. It is estimated the dim weight change will impact approximately 75% of both B2B and B2C shipments. If your organization has not yet been impacted, I encourage you to develop a contingency plan and be prepared. As you can see from this chart, shipping 1 pound parcels in small cartons will not have a significant impact on your shipping rates. However, looking at the middle of the chart, shipping those same 1 pound parcels in larger boxes will potentially result in higher shipping costs for those orders. And the bottom of the chart shows larger parcels are typically already subject to dim weight rating and should not be impacted. As you prepare and plan, what are your options? You can start by negotiating a better dim weight factor with your carriers. Increasing your dim weight factor will lower the cube rate for the orders. Continue as is and hope your packers get better at selecting box sizes. You can slow down the pack process to allow packers more time to select box sizes and hope you get all the orders shipped on time. You can add equipment to create custom boxes on demand, or you can use the WMS to select optimum carton sizes as part of the pick workflow. This practice is known as cartonization. Cluster picking, or picking multiple orders simultaneously, can improve pick labor productivity, and this process can be further optimized by having a WMS determine the best carton size to use for the order based on product cube characteristics, for example, small, medium, or large. This best practice is commonly referred to as cartonization and is available in a good WMS. And as mentioned earlier, this approach ties in directly to helping better manage dim weights. Another e-commerce-driven trend impacting outbound processing is the blending of the shipping process into a streamlined pick-and-pack operation. Rather than viewing shipping as a standalone process done at a dedicated workstation, companies realize they can reduce direct labor costs, reduce shipping costs, improve space utilization, and shorten order cycle times by integrating a multi-carrier shipping system into the WMS. Speaking of numbers, did you know 111,111,111 squared equals the very palindromic 1,2,3,4,5,678,987,654,321. As your customers are becoming more efficient with their supply chains, they will start to make requests of you to help them streamline their operations. For example, customers may require you to create shipping compliance labels and company-specific pack lists for drop shipments. This will mean creating customer and carton-specific labels at different points in the pick workflow. If you're already dealing with big box retailers, this should look familiar. Many trading partners today are providing specific direction on GS1 shipping labels, both in terms of the format and more specifically the positioning on cartons. As a small business, you may have a few options when looking at these requirements. Do things haphazardly and face the high probability of receiving chargebacks. Print labels in advance, in bulk, and add labor to manage the label sortation and application process. Add equipment automation to print and apply if volumes justify. Or integrate flexible label generation options into the pick workflow using a good WMS. Dealing with companies like Amazon, Walmart.com, Target.com, and Wayfair may require you to deliver orders created on their websites from your warehouse, or drop ship. Drop ship introduces a new set of compliance requirements for suppliers that can quickly become an operational constraint for you without effective system support. Characteristics of drop shipments include short lead times, fulfilling potentially thousands of orders, very erratic demand patterns with random spikes in order volume, and significantly more parcel orders with low line and unit counts, lower margins, residential delivery fees, and other shipping requirements, creating and sending EDI documents, for example, in 846, and creating a retailer-specific pack slip. These are a cost of doing business as a dropshipper and can be supported with a good WMS. WMS may also help streamline the shipping process for your e-tail customers. For example, with some Amazon orders, you might be required to apply ProBill and routing information on carton labels. But the carton contents and weight is required to get the ProBill and routing information from Vendor Central. It's the classic chicken and egg paradox. The process might look like this. You pick the order, collect carton contents and weight information. You go to Vendor Central to enter the carton shipment information, print the carton ship labels, go back to the load and take the time to search and match the labels to the correct cartons, and then ship the order. With Axelis One WMS, it is possible to streamline this workflow by first determining the carton contents and weight in advance of the pick by using the Anticipated Carton Requirements, or ACR, report. The ACR report is a standard SQL Server Reporting Services report tool used to identify outbound carton requirements and specific carton contents in advance of orders being released for picking. The new workflow using the ACR report might look like this. You run the ACR report in Axelis One WMS, go to the vendor portal to enter the carton shipment information, print the carton ship labels, pick the order, and apply the ship labels during the pick workflow, and ship the order. This approach could significantly reduce time spent searching and physically matching labels to cartons, resulting in improved throughput capacity. Requirements for traceability continues to be important as government regulations tighten and consumers become more conscious of global corporate social responsibility. I see a growing trend of requirements for tracking chain of custody that flows with the product rather than just what is in your facility. Traceability will be essential not only where the product is in real time as it moves, but also relating to its pedigree, where it came from, how did it get here, how long has it been en route, or was it modified along the way. Within the warehouse, the traceability report in Axelis One WMS contains all critical information related to a specific product and lot number. For example, where is the lot number in the warehouse? Are there any outstanding sales orders for this lot number? And has this lot number already been shipped to any customers? This information provides essential visibility into the warehouse link of your supply chain and can easily support product recalls. The first step is to execute the recall in the warehouse by preventing any further activity against the lot number. From the traceability report, all the stock in the warehouse can be blocked in a single step, which prevents any additional operations against that lot number. All open sales orders can then be suspended in a single step, preventing any additional processing. Once the warehouse has been prevented from any further processing of the recalled lot number, the next step is to contact any customers who have already received this lot number and the product suppliers. Completed sales orders, including contact information, show who was shipped this product and lot number. Complete purchase orders show who supplied this product. A good WMS will support product traceability and product recall strategies. Omnichannel retailers use all physical, offline, and digital or online channels to deliver a consistent customer experience at every touch point in the fulfillment of an order. These channels include brick and mortar stores, online stores, mobile apps, catalogs, call centers, and social media. Each of these channels is an opportunity to engage customers with consistent messaging through the buying cycle of an order. Omnichannel retailers focus on optimizing the customer experience across all channels and devices used in interactions with their brands. Yet many companies miss the opportunity to deliver a truly end-to-end experience for the customer because they have forgotten a very important channel, the package. The package is an opportunity to drive traffic to brick-and-mortar stores, online stores, social media, and other channels. But too many companies are missing this opportunity. Usually, companies use a plastic pouch with a packing list manually folded and inserted into the pouch, with a separate ship label generated off of a second printer. Sometimes a retailer will skip the plastic pouch altogether and just throw the packing list into the shipping carton. Either way, there's the requirement for multiple printers and physically matching documents to orders. Packages can be more than brown boxes used to protect product moving from point A to point B. The package is a physical representation of your brand, a mobile billboard traveling far and wide to find its final destination. With all the online marketing, it's tough to guarantee customers or prospective customers will see a retailer's marketing. However, each package is a guaranteed audience. Increased on-the-box personalization enhances the look of the brand and makes shoppers more likely to share their experiences about a product purchase. Likewise, on-the-box offers and promotions drive customers back to your website for more shopping. Every shipped package is an opportunity to generate new sales while reinforcing a retailer's brand and messaging. These unique multi-use laser forms allow retailers to include relevant offers and promotions right on the box. Special offers, targeted cross-sells, upsells, gift cards, loyalty rewards, or web promotions can be incorporated on every package. But the jury is still out on the rate of adoption for packaging marketing and promotions trend as I continue to monitor the frequency of midday thieves targeting deliveries to unprotected residential front doors. If the latter trend continues, I expect more discreet packaging from home delivery will remain the norm. On the topic of package labeling, Duplex Pack Slip uses tear strip technology and double-sided printing capabilities to streamline the pack slip and ship label print and apply process. This tear strip technology can be used to reduce costs with fewer labels and printers, streamline the workflow with fewer labels to manage, and improve order accuracy by reducing pack slip ship carton mismatches, improving marketing, or all the above. Companies are also using their fully integrated Excellus One image solution to support e-tailer shipping requirements. For example, if you're shipping orders to Wayfair, you may have the requirement to use their specific pack slip, format, and data. Using the Excellus One image solution, you can take a snapshot of the Wayfair pack slip, associate it to an outbound order, then print the saved image as part of the pick process and include the Wayfair pack slip with customer-specific information as an attachment to the order. And the final trend I'll mention is the continued adoption and use of electronic data interchange, or EDI. Companies who aren't using a formal EDI process are going to find it harder to efficiently exist without using EDI. It's especially prevalent in the 3PL and wholesale distribution world. Bottom line, organizations must adopt EDI to stay compliant with their trading partners. With a solid WMS supporting flexible pick and pack operations, you should expect a seamless integration of your EDI data both from your vendors and, more importantly, to your customers. We've covered general trends in supply chain and e-commerce that are or might soon be impacting your operations. The question remains, how can you profitably fulfill multiple channels from the same inventory and the same facility? A key enabler is to understand your warehouse behavioral profile and have flexible systems and processes correlated to the different profiles. The first step in managing an efficient warehouse is understanding your warehouse behavioral profile. In the omni-channel supply chain, a typical wholesale distributor warehouse will have at least 2 to 3 different types of orders. This table is from an Excellus HighJump customer who sells through their own web store to miscellaneous distributors and through large big box retail centers. We see 15% of their orders are medium-sized, multi-line from 2 to 10 lines. 35% of the orders are for big box replenishment, and 50% are typical e-commerce single-line, single-unit type of orders. With this understanding of your warehouse behavioral profile, you can then begin to set up different material handling processes around your optimized pick workflows. Setting up a specific workflow for these different types of orders can significantly reduce average travel time per order, reduce pack and ship space requirements, and help you with the new dim weight parcel shipping charge rate structures. If you do nothing else coming out of this session, I encourage you to understand your warehouse behavioral profile by analyzing 6 to 12 months worth of order history and develop a table like we just observed or order distribution graph similar to this chart for your operations. Then begin to think about how you can manage to each of your different order types. In this example, we see 30% of the orders are for one product with a quantity of one total, what I call the single line, single unit order. There are tweaks you can make to the pick workflow to significantly reduce pick travel times and improve pick labor productivity for these order types common in e-commerce environments. As a rule of thumb, the total pick activity time on a typical pick tour is less than 25% of the total tour time. A majority of the time is consumed by operator travel. When you look at ways to improve pick labor productivity, a good place to start is pick tour travel time. And a good way to reduce pick travel time is to pick multiple orders on a single pick tour. Next, we'll take a look at a few different pick workflows and how they can help reduce travel time. You've heard me mention flexibility, but what exactly does that mean? One example is to have systems providing or supporting different picking processes as needed. For example, every facility should be able to pick one order at a time until complete. This is a common and simple form of picking known as a discrete pick. A more advanced concept is cluster picking. This allows one operator to efficiently pick multiple orders on a pick tour. This helps reduce the average travel time per pick and can be used when you have multiple small orders, for example, the single line, single unit orders. This minimizes average travel time but adds complexity to the pick process as you need to manage multiple cartons or totes on the pick cart and keep the products segregated by order. Batch picking is another approach to reduce operator travel time by aggregating orders into a batch or a group, picking all the inventory together, then sorting or doing a secondary pick to specific orders downstream, for example, at a pack station. This is another pick style that fits well with small single line, single unit orders, but again, adds complexity to the pick process. To optimize order picking in a non-mechanized warehouse, meaning no pick-to-light or A-frame picking, companies implement pick workflows where multiple operators can pick multiple orders simultaneously. This level of complexity is only supported by a WMS by helping marry cartons together for shipment processing post-pick. You may hear this referred to as zone picking or pick and pass. Flexibility can also be applied in the shipping process. For example, you can pick to a shipper or tote, repack and weigh the carton at a pack station, print the shipping labels and documentation, then stage the order for shipping. This is a traditional workflow most manual warehouses are using. Alternatively, the fully integrated Excelos One shipping system enables you to print partial shipping labels in advance of the pick, apply the label to a shipping carton, pick the order, then stage the carton for shipment. This works well when you have product dimensional and weight data and are shipping small single-line, single-unit orders or full cases. Which process you use will depend on many factors, including order types, facility layout, and data availability. The key point is to have flexible systems in place to have the option to manage multiple types of workflows. Other tools found in a good WMS will help you maximize every square foot of your warehouse. In a typical warehouse, a majority of the space will be consumed by storage. Understanding how storage bins are being utilized will allow you to better manage overall space. A WMS will allow you to measure and monitor storage space utilization and provide you with space optimization tools to help improve labor productivity along with storage space utilization. For example, System Suggested Put Away helps optimize space by ensuring the right product is put in the right bins. With System Suggested Put Away, the material handling operator is prompted on the mobile scanner with a suggested bin to place the product. There are different rules or algorithms you can configure to guide the system when identifying the suggested bins. A good WMS will track all inventory moves and transactions at the product level. This inventory transactional data helps with product traceability, recalls, and implementing an effective slotting strategy. Bin reports can be used to allow you to identify overall bin utilization and the percent of empty bins across the facility. And strategic slotting is putting product away based on the best available bin for picking. For example, your fast-moving inventory, or A products, may be stored near the pack stations or at the end of aisles, while your slower-moving B or C product may be stored further away in less active areas of the warehouse. Next, let's take a deeper dive into slotting. Looking at slotting from a vertical perspective, product is located based on whether it is a fast, medium, or slow-moving product. From a warehouse perspective, how many times is the product picked? Not necessarily the total quantity shipped per year. For example, a product that moves 1,000 units a month is processed differently if it was picked 2 times at 500 units versus 1,000 times at just 1 unit each. The former could mean 2 pallet moves, while the latter represents 1,000 individual picks and packaging into parcel shipping containers. Fast movers, or A items, are the most popular products and should be the easiest to get to and retrieve. These might be stored in the middle bins. Slower movers, or your B and C items, are slotted overhead or on the bottom shelves. The golden or strike zone refers to the area between the knees and shoulders where handling products is the easiest and requires the least amount of bending or stretching. This not only improves pick labor productivity, but reduces operator fatigue and minimizes the potential for workers' comp claims. Our goal is to optimize the use of your golden zones, and a good WMS will help you. Taking advantage of cube space in your warehouse can be beneficial. How effectively are you using the area overhead? Is there empty area in the racks, or are bins designated to optimize storage capacity? There are many things you can do to improve cube utilization. In this example on the left, with all the beam spacings the same, you can see the wasted space in red. This space will remain empty until the same product and potentially same lot number arrives for storage or the bin is cleaned out, meaning inventory is moved or depleted, allowing for a larger load to be stored. The right side demonstrates a best practice of using varied beam spacings to improve cube and storage utilization by turning the dead space into available storage bins. A WMS will help you optimize storage when using varied bin sizes with the system-suggested put-away strategies. Another best practice supported by WMS is segregating product by storage and picking functions, or implementing a reserve storage and forward picking strategy. Reserve storage is just that, product in reserve. Reserve, excess, or bulk product is typically stored in full pallet or unit load quantities in overhead or out-of-the-way bins. These bins are random, meaning the product can be stored in bin PL 009 today and bin PL 011 next week. In this situation, either the product or license plate number is used as the identifier. In reserve storage, different products can generally be stored in the same bin or mixed. Forward pick bins are easily accessible, typically found at the ground level, and will have less than full pallet quantities over time. These bins are slotted for an average days on hand quantity and are typically dedicated, meaning the same product goes to the same bin each time or until the inventory is depleted or reslotted. In dedicated forward pick, the bin label is used as the identifier, and there is typically only one product per bin. Speaking of neat concepts, and to help transition to the next topic, I find this image symmetrically interesting. A WMS is designed to manage high order management volumes. A good solution will allow you to easily manage order activity across the facility. In a typical warehouse, the majority of the operating budget is consumed by pick labor. Outbound order management and pick efficiency is where companies get the most return on investment. A good WMS will have many functions out of the box to enable picking to easily scale, allowing you to improve pick labor productivity or add capacity and throughput with existing headcount. This is a view of the Order Work Center in Axelis One WMS. This is a dashboard allowing the warehouse manager to orchestrate the outbound process in the warehouse. Each line in the grid represents a single outbound order with order line details displayed at the bottom. This work center allows you to view and manage orders downloaded from the ERP. The order status in the left column changes based on where the order is in the workflow. When orders are initially downloaded, they are in unallocated status, meaning no review or planning has been done on the order. Once an order is allocated in the warehouse, which can be done through a manual process or as an automated background process, the order status will change depending on the inventory availability in the warehouse. The real-time system updates provide you with a 360-degree view of activity. Example Excelis One WMS order statuses include ready to wave, which means there's enough inventory available in the warehouse in a pickable bin and can be selected for picking. Held replenishment means you are using a forward pick strategy. If there is not enough inventory in the forward pick bin and a subsequent inventory move from reserve storage to the pick bin needs to occur before the order can be selected for picking. Record shipment means the order has been picked and is awaiting final shipping information. Or being picked is fairly self-explanatory. The Order Work Center can also be used to quickly filter information needed to make decisions about which orders are allocated in priority sequence. You can create your own filters based on your specific order types and service level commitments. Examples of prioritizing include filtering single line, single unit orders, so you can assign those to a single picker all at once, or you have a few emergency pickups to get out to the customer service desk quickly for will call, or it's getting late in the day and FedEx picks up at 5 p.m. so you need to select all those orders for picking as soon as possible, or you have a new customer that requires specific product labeling that needs to be picked and sent to the rework area. The Order Work Center is a management tool to help you optimize customer service levels and balance workload across the warehouse. As you are processing transactions through the warehouse, you should be able to tap into the data provided to help you understand the operations and, more importantly, proactively manage change. A recent quote from analysts at Aberdeen Group sum it up well. Organizations are facing pressures to deliver information that is timely and effective in meeting business goals. This requires companies to have access to the information, the ability to combine, aggregate, and integrate this information, and then deliver it to people when, where, and how they need it. Excelis One Pulse is a fully integrated operational insight tool, allowing you to turn your data into usable information in the form of key performance indicators or KPIs, pivot grids, and both reactive and proactive alerts. Pulse can span the applications you use within your extended enterprise. With its open connectivity layer, Pulse will pull KPI data from disparate components of your operation, like your warehouse management function, the parcel shipping operation, your EDI trading partner network, and even your ERP. We'll wrap up our discussion on WMS tools with a nod toward EDI integration. As we discussed earlier, supporting EDI communications with your trading partners is quickly becoming the norm. On the inbound side, being able to process an EDI Advanced Ship Notice, or ASN, receipt will streamline your internal processes, resulting in lower operating costs and improved inventory velocity, meaning inventory will be available for sale or picking more quickly. For example, if you receive a mixed product pallet using an ASN, you should be able to scan the ASN label once and systematically receive all products on the pallet. Without an ASN, mixed product pallet receiving will require a scan of each individual product on the pallet to satisfy receiving requirements. On the outbound, you should expect the WMS to provide ASN data to your customers through a seamless interface. During the pick process, cart and content data is being collected, eliminating a need for rekeying EDI as a downstream workflow. Once the order is picked, ASN-compliant ship labels are created, applied, and the EDI information transmitted to your customers through your TrueCommerce network. This entire process should be a back-end, non-event, in a well-functioning warehouse. To this point, we covered trends I see potentially impacting your warehouse operations and tools available to help you optimize processes and manage the change. I'll conclude by briefly covering various levels of warehouse automation for you to consider. As with any investment in automation, you should first ask, do I even need this solution? In the late 20th century, having an automated warehouse was a significant competitive advantage. 30 years later, an automated warehouse is basically a cost of doing business. Essentially, the more connected and extended a supply chain becomes, the greater the effect a WMS will have on your bottom line. This is especially true in the new global economy. If you're working in an extended supply chain, lack of warehouse automation makes you a less valuable trading partner, putting you at risk as a viable supplier. So what's next? What type of solution do you need? There are a few solution types available for warehouse automation. At the low end, there are point solutions that attempt to automate existing practices by overlaying existing processes with barcoding and data collection capabilities. The biggest risk with these solutions is they do not enable warehouse best practices, so you might just end up doing the wrong things, only faster. Back to our management guru, Peter Drucker, efficiency is doing the thing right. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. At the upper end of the market are Tier 1 WMS solutions, so does HighJump's Warehouse Advantage. These solutions offer the ability to leverage operational best practices, but typically are designed for more sophisticated, high-volume facilities and take 6 to 12 months to implement. Excelis One WMS is built specifically for the small to medium-sized business market, offering best-of-breed functionality to allow you to re-engineer your processes. Excelis One WMS can be up and running in as little as 90 to 150 days with a standard configurable design. And where does WMS fit in your solution architecture blueprint? Your ERP has the management tools for finance, purchasing, customer order entry, and enterprise-wide inventory. Excelis One WMS solutions operate as a separate database and are focused on the execution tools in the warehouse to process receipts, shipments, and manage high transaction volumes at the detail bin level. The back-end database is specifically tuned for heavy transaction processing found in a typical warehouse. While there are many other changes happening in the warehouse, this provides a good summary of where you can look to begin improving your operations and reducing costs for 2017 and beyond. Thank you for investing your time with me this afternoon. Now go make a difference. If you can't make a difference, make a pie, because everyone likes pie. Kim?
I like pie. There you go. Nice warm apple pie would be good right now. Again, everybody on the right-hand side, you can type in what questions that you have that you would like to ask Chris. So go ahead and let's get started with our first question here. All right. So I think I know the answer to this, but does your shipping solution work with the major parcel carriers?
Yeah, in a nutshell, it works pretty much with UPS, FedEx, USPS, DHL, and also a lot of the major LTL carriers. So we have that full integration in there, so yes.
Okay, cool. And how about when it comes to more of the local types of carriers like CB or some of Spreeby and some of those? Is that something that's a possibility with some customization?
Yeah, I don't want to say, I guess it is a customization, but yeah, we've got a long list or a growing list of LTL carriers, but with all the different regions in the country, okay. We always find one or two we don't have, but yeah, we can tweak those.
Sounds good. That's one of our customers. All right. Now, how about compliance labels? They want to know on how do you handle compliance labels?
Yeah, the compliance labels can be a very tricky proposition, especially from a labor standpoint. So what we've done with many of our customers is we basically give you the ability to print compliance labels at different points in the workflow. If you're in a non-automated warehouse, you're probably restricted to printing the labels after you've picked the orders, and then you spend a lot of time doing a match process, which creates a lot of complexity and labor on the back end. So what we basically do is give you the ability to print labels at different points. You can either at the start, during the pick process, at the end, etc.
Okay. And then how about when it comes to reporting tools?
Yeah, we have a standard. We use I mentioned it in the Brizo. We use SSRS as our native reporting tool. And we have over 45, list is at least 45 and growing standard reports that come with the WMS. And with a limited working knowledge, I say a working knowledge of SQL Server queries, you can write your own reports as well.
Okay, excellent. That's important. How about BI tools?
Yeah, it's. I did mention I called it operational intelligence. It is kind of a business. It's not as sophisticated as business intelligence, but it's called Pulse. It is a separate license application, but it's unique to the supply chain space because it is fully integrated in the HighJump suite. So it is a Pulse. It comes with, as I mentioned on the reporting side, it comes with I think over 100 preloaded KPIs. But as I've seen in most warehouses, almost like reports. Everybody's a little different in what they want to report on or view the KPIs. So if you have a working knowledge of SQL queries, you can write your own, or you can tweak the ones that we provide.
Okay. Do you use GP inventory as your counts, or is it a separate database?
As the counts, you say?
Or it says, do you use GP inventory counts?
We'll basic. It's I mentioned in the system architecture at the end. We are a separate database, so we feed aggregate. We feed up all of the inventory transactions up to GP. So if you wanted to see aggregate level inventories, you could look in GP. If you wanted to see exactly where it was in the warehouse, you would look in the WMS. So we do have a separate database, but they should be synchronized.
Okay. So that person that was on there was a GP. What other accounting software products do you work with?
Most of the majors, I'll say Sage. I'm just going off memory. Sage, SAP Business One. Those are popular. What's growing a lot is NetSuite. NetSuite has a big impact in the markets. Obviously, all the Dynamics products, Infor, QuickBooks, etc. Those are the majors.
Excellent. All right. Well, excellent. Thank you so much. What last word now, you went through a lot of subject matter expert information that this is what's going on. If they wanted to take a look at the product and talk about their specific needs, would they get a hold of Jason or you?
Yeah, Jason's the best contact, only because the different ERPs that I mentioned, we have different people responsible. So it depends on who you work with. It depends on which ERP you're working with.
Okay, excellent. And again, all of us here at InterDyn BMI would be happy to visit with you a little bit more about your interests and then get them involved when the time comes that we need to talk about your situation. So thank you so much, Chris. I certainly appreciate your time. And again, everybody, we will have a copy of this webinar